What up, everybody? It's your boy Westside Wallboy 22. Today's video is about the downfall of Miley Cyrus, the true zeitgeist of the United States, the problem of the country. Look, Miley Cyrus is like the quintessence of America. She's like a representation of our values and our culture. And the reason I say that is because as a young woman, Miley Cyrus was a Disney Channel star. She was the image of what it meant to be young and successful and beautiful, right? And she had Hannah Montana. That was cool. Everybody loved Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana. But like, if you think about it, it didn't take too much time for Miley Cyrus to wild out. You know what I'm saying? She very quickly began to wild out. You feel me? Very quickly, she began to wild out. Like, I remember being a kid and watching YouTube and watching the Wrecking Ball music video. And it just was like, what the heck? This is the person who was singing about like, you get the best of both worlds. And like, for her, that she really was out here living both worlds. But, you know what I'm saying? So she went from like a little child star to becoming like this, you know, and then she had the whole twerking thing. And that was a shoot, like that changed, you can't lie, like twerking changed culture for that entire decade. The 2010s, literally, Miley Cyrus, like that was the thing. People can say it wasn't, they can say she didn't invent it, like that it was gentrified. I'm not here to make that argument. I'm here to say that as a person, you had from being a Disney Channel star to being known for being a twerker. Like that was your number one like export. That was what you were known for. So she does Wrecking Ball, right? And then, you know, after that, she kind of fell off for a minute, right? But then she comes out with that song against the Bruno Mars one where she's like, I can buy myself flowers, I can hold my own hand. And let's not forget that Billy Ray Cyrus, her dad, got on the remix of what was one of the hottest songs of the 2010s. And I'm not saying that it was hot because it was good, it was just, it was popular. Old Town Road was a huge part of 2019 and a huge part of the end of the decade. And her father was on that track, on the remix. My argument is that if you look at Miley Cyrus and her career, right, and here's the thing. Miley Cyrus also made the biggest banger in like 4th of July banger. Like, Party in the USA is a song that it doesn't matter who you are, you probably know that song if you're from America. You've probably heard it at least once. You've probably jammed to it. You know what it feels like to be like, dang, like, am I gonna fit in? Like, I hope that this works out. Like, it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking to go to a new city, to go on your dreams. And Miley Cyrus put that into a song that a lot of people could connect with. It was a bop. They made it, and they knew it was gonna be a bop. But like I'm saying, is like, if you look at the transition of her life, right, the steps that her career's taken to get from point A to point B, it mirrors the culture of the United States. Like, she's very much a representation of our world as Americans. And so I just think it's like, look at what we've become. We've become these Disney Channel celebs, right? And we've become these people who are so detached from the ideas of a family, from the ideas of like this loyalty to something like that. Like, that's real. But I don't think she's the only example. But this is just a rant, and I was just thinking about it because it was the 4th of July yesterday. But it's just like, you just gotta ask yourself, like, how as Americans are we treating our celebrities too? Like, think about how hard your life is, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, they have it bad, but you know, that the anxiety you have is the same thing that they have. Now they got a lot more money, obviously, but they still deal, like, they deal with this craziness too. And if you look at how their lives have turned out, it's a reflection back on us. It's a reflection of our culture. And like, I just think that we gotta ask ourselves, like, what kind of culture do we want? How do we want our little girls to go out into culture? How do we want them to grow up? Because Hannah Montana was not just something that people forgot about. It was quite literally the story. Miley Cyrus, the story of America.